How y'all doing out there in YouTube land? This is Stiletto coming at you from the Wild Wild West. And today, it's time to build a knife. It's time to build a knife. We got the one in from eBay. The one is in from eBay. Now we got Juno here joining us. Okay, sweetie. Yes, you had to make your entrance. I know. That's my girl. Okay. Yes, you had to get in the video. I know. I know. Yeah. I know. That's my co-star. But anyway, perfectly centered. All right. This is the one that we're going to turn into the titanium one. If I can get Juno off the table, that is. All right, Juju. It's time for you to get down, sweetie. You got to get down. Grandpa needs to use the table, okay? Can you use the table? Can you use the table? Okay. Go ahead and get down, sweetie. Okay. So let's get busy. Let's take this one apart. Yeah, screw this turning on me. Let me see. Ah, that screw's too long. Somebody put a screw in here the one that's too long. That's what's happening. Yep. That screw's supposed to be a shorter screw. So they probably lost a screw or something and couldn't find the right screw and put that screw in there. Let me see if it's a Demco screw though. It's just the wrong screw. Let me see if one of these screws is the right screw. Because the ones that are long are supposed to be for the pocket clips. And then there should be one short one for this screw right here. And they're all three the long ones. So, this is one screw, but they're all Demco screws though. Or if you took apart another knife and put two short ones in it. That might be what happened. That's okay though, because these scales are pretty thick, so I think we're going to be okay on that. Oh, one thing I wanted to do, let me put this back together real quick. I'm just going to put the screws and bolts on it. I'm not going to screw it all back together. I just want to put the weight back on it because I want to weigh it and show you guys that the ones with the Grivory scales, these are yellow Grivory scales. And it's got the D2 blade. This is the old model. The ones I tell you that you can get the best bargains on, the old models, the old D2 models, the original D2 models with the Grivory scales or G10 scales. Okay, let's see what this one weighs. I'm expecting it to weigh 5.1 ounces. 5.1 ounces. Just like I've been telling you guys, that the Grivory scales are the lightest scales. And if that's important to you to have a light knife, The 5.1 ounce Grivory scale AD20S feels very light in the hand. It feels very light. And you don't notice it in your pocket hardly at all. Whereas when they get to the 7 ounce setup, you do notice it. The 6 ounce setup is easy to carry too, though. The 6 ounce aluminum setup from Original Goat. The 7 ounce titanium set is a little bit heavy, but it's not too heavy. It's not so heavy I don't want to carry it. That is the heaviest setup. Okay, cover your spring when you take out the spring, because they are known to fly out on you. There's our spring. Everything's dry in here. See how dry everything is? Okay, we're taking everything totally apart. We're totally stripping out the scales except for the liners. We don't need the liners. And we don't need the barrel spacers either. I'll explain that in a minute. So we put the liners back in it, because we're not going to use the liners. And the barrel spacers, we'll set those aside for right now because I don't have anything to put them in, I don't think. Oh yeah, we do. This one has barrel spacers in it already. These scales, we're going to use these scales. These are the other scales I bought off of eBay. So this knife is being totally built from things I purchased on eBay. These Original Goat scales, the pineapple pattern, titanium scales, I purchased on eBay from one of the viewers. That's an awesome purchase. This knife I'm going to keep. It's a total keeper for me. Because it's special, because one of the viewers I purchased it from. So that makes it even more special to me. You know me, I like knives with stories. That gives it a story. All right, so we're going to take these parts out. You know, we can actually leave the barrel spacers in there. But you know, I think these are titanium barrel spacers, as opposed to, let me see if they look the same. These are the ones that came off the M390 with the G10 scales, these barrel spacers. I don't know, they look the same. I can't tell any difference. But you know what? I'm still going to keep those in there. No, I should use them. I think I should use them. Okay. We'll flip them around. Where do the other ones go? Should be one more. There it is. Put these in here. And also the pocket clip too. I try to keep all the parts and try to keep them organized, because if I ever do sell the knife, I want to sell it with not only with whatever the parts I modified it with, but also with the original parts. So the person, if they don't want the modified parts, they can send it back to the original way or whatever. Makes it a better purchase, I think. And if I saw a purchase like that, I'd be more attracted to it. Because I know how much the parts cost. Parts ain't cheap. All right, so that one's all done. Set that aside. Get a little bit organized here. And I measured the inner diameter of these bearings are 6.49, I think it is. 6.49 millimeters. And the outer diameter was 9 something. It was like 9 939 or 69 or something like that. And the bearing thickness is 1 millimeter. It's 1 millimeter. I measured everything out. All right, people. Because I'm in a hunt for bearings. I hope Skiff can come through. That's what I'm hoping. I hope, because I sent a message to Skiff. I hope they can come through with make some bearings like what we need for S models. Get all my parts organized. Got that one long screw. I think it's going to work okay in here though. Okay, people. Let me see. Now in this one, I decided I want to put the backspacer on that. The one that it came with, and I'm going to use the, go back to the barrel spacers, because I contacted Original Goat, and they're going to hook me up with another backspacer. The one that I needed to order, the S one made for the S model, and I'm gonna send them back the one that I have, the one that's for the one that I wrongfully ordered, mistakenly ordered, the one for the 20 model. So let's go ahead and take this backspacer out, and I'm gonna use it on this one. See, here's a shorter screw. You guys can see what I'm talking about. Mine's missing the new one I got right now is missing the shorter screw. I don't know if you can tell by me doing that. But that one's short and one's long. And they should both be short for that screw. So I'm gonna put these screws over here. Now it's hard to put the barrel spacers on there on this one without taking it all the way apart. I'm gonna give it a shot. Okay, that part's gonna go with that one. Okay, let's see if we can get the barrel spacers in here. This is the tricky part. All right, we got one. Here's my short screw. Looks like it should be right there. So close and let it so. Let me see if I get the other one in. If I can't, then I might have to take it apart. Because I gotta get these in there. Got that one. Oh, that's one of these screws, huh? Okay. There we go. Wow, that took up a lot of time, huh? Okay. Let's hurry and put this together now. Okay. Billet barrel spaceless all in play. All right, that one's done. Okay, let's put this one together. Put the new one together. Okay, where's my grease? My oil? Still trying to find some bearings though for these. When I find the bearings, you know, I'll be taking these things back apart and putting the skiff bearings in them, hopefully. That's why I want skiff bearings. I like the taco bearings too, but I think I like the skiff bearings a little bit better. I just like the way they fit. The skiff makes them fit really nicely. All right. I'll put a dab of oil in there too. All right. Okay, next up, meet all the pins. Need a lock bar. Like to put a little bit of grease on the lock bar too. All the parts that touch metal to metal, I always like to lube them a little bit. Just a little light coating on it. Then the spring, I like to dip the spring in the grease. This is Militech 1 gun grease I use. High temperature gun grease, lithium based gun grease. Been using it for years, since the 90s. On all my guns and knives. All right. And also, you know, when you put grease on your springs, if they pop out on you when you take it apart, it's not like if they hit you or something, they'll stick to you. So they don't. It's harder to lose the springs. Little tip there. Okay, let me see. What we got to do next? Backspacer. This backspacer's tricky if I remember right. Tricky because these pins want to fall back out. as you put the pins in here. You gotta use a finger for each one. And then you gotta lay it down flat real fast, so they don't fall out on you. All right. Oops. I shouldn't have lifted it up. My bag. See if we get the pins all back in it. 1, 2. It's moving a little bit. 2. Where'd the other one go? And 3. Okay, let's put it together. Get that one started. Hope everybody's doing good out there in YouTube land. It's been hot. Yesterday we had a record hot day, 108 degrees. Today it's supposed to be 105, but I don't think it's going to make it that hot because it was pretty much cloudy all day. And it rained a little, sprinkled a little bit on the way home. I was coming home from work today. This is a screw that's got one screw too long. That's why you have to use 2 drivers on it. Okay. Sweet. Okay. I'm digging it already. Solid. No up and down, no side to side or nothing. Back it off just a touch. Perfect. Perfectly centered. Sweet. Oh hell yeah. That looks nice. I like the color of it. Doesn't that look nice? And yes, I used your backspacer. It looks nice. This is a beautiful set. This is a beautiful set. All right. So that's the final one. That's the final one for the S models. And the final one for the S models. Let's see how much it weighs real quick. See if it weighs 7.3 ounces like it did on the other one. This one weighs 7.4 ounces, so the pineapple scales are a little bit heavier than the other scales. Or let's compare this one. That one was 7.4. Yep, 7.3. 7.3 and 7.4. Now, this would probably weigh 7.4 though if I put this backspacer on it. But then again, it had the backspacer on it, weigh 7.3. So maybe these things, the barrel spacers weigh more than I think they are because they're probably steel. If they're steel, they're probably, you know, heavier than they would be if they were titanium. All right. These are my S models. They're all goats. These are all my S model goats. They're all goats. First up, OG1 with a Lynch Northwest pocket clip and a Jimp backspacer, aluminum backspacer from Original Goat. Shark's foot blade. Number 2 up, Shark's foot blade. This one has a polished edge, custom edge, titanium pineapple scales, Lynch Northwest pocket clip, titanium Jimp backspacer. New drop point, this is the 2022 new drop point, M390. Now on these, one thing I want to point out to you is that the jimping on the back of the blade from the new models and the old models is different. I don't know if I pointed that out before. These scales are the shark's tooth, titanium scales from Original Goat. It has the original barrel backspacers that the AD20S comes with. Lynch Northwest deep pocket clip. Drop point blade M390 steel. The other two are D2. D2 clip blade. Lynch Northwest aluminum scales. This is the OG2 pattern with the ball groove or V groove backspacer, aluminum backspacer. And there they are, Lynch Northwest pocket clip. These are my S's. Those are my S's, people. I am done with the Demco S model collection. This is my Demco S model collection. Out of all of these, this is the one I use. This is the one I carry. I've carried this one just to see what it was like to carry it, but I really got the titanium ones to be collectors, to be more or less to be collectors or whatever. But this one's my user. And it's the least expensive one out of all these to make. These handle scales only cost $75, and the backspacers only $25. They're the most least expensive backspacers and scales that you can get at Original Goat. Why? Because they don't have a finish on them. They come unfinished. I polished this part and this part of them, and all around here, all around the edges. So that's not the way that they come. It would have a really dull aluminum finish, because these are just raw aluminum when you get them. They're unpolished, unfinished. They haven't had any sort of finishing done to them. So they're just raw aluminum. And actually, I think I like these scales the best. Why? Because it doesn't make the knife weigh too much. The knife still only weighs 6 ounces. And 6 ounces to me is an acceptable weight. You know, for a knife this size, 5 to 6 ounces, that's an acceptable weight for the knife this size. And the lighter models with the G10, you can get it with, it has 5.6 ounces, and the lightest models with the Grivory, 5.1 ounces. But I like these metal scales better than the Grivory or the G10. And I just like them. But if you go with the titanium, just be prepared to understand that these are the heaviest scales. This is a 7-ounce knife. You know, closer to like 7.5 ounces. And if that's too much weight for you, it's something to think about. But if you're okay with carrying, it's like carrying a buck knife. A buck knife or a AD10, a Demco AD10, or something like that. Something like about that, like AD10 or a buck knife. I'm trying to think of things that would be similar in weight. But if that weight is okay with you, then I say go for it. It doesn't bother me, you know, but I don't want to carry this knife every day. It wouldn't be my everyday carry. You know, every once in a while I might want to carry it. One thing about the titanium ones is that they feel a lot more solid. If you want a knife that feels super, 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 super solid and super, super, super strong, out of this model, of the AD20 models, I would say get the titanium scales. Because the titanium scales are just one solid slab, and they're a thick 4 millimeters, you know, 4.5 millimeter thick slab or something like that. And it's just really strong. And I think this adds a lot of strength to the knife, if you ask me. I think it's the way to go. I think, you know, I think these are $175 though for these scales, as opposed to paying $75 for these. This one right here I think was $80, maybe $90. I can't remember exactly what they were cost, but they cost a little bit more because they're coated. But these are the aluminum scales with the ceramic coating. Same thing with the backspacers. So it costs, the backspacers were like $30 as opposed to $25. So these might be $80. It might be $80. But these scales are beautiful. I want to polish the edges on this one too, so it's even going to be even more beautiful. I absolutely love it. I love these AD20S models. This one feels, I don't know why, this one feels lighter. I guess they're about the same. If about the same. I just like the shark's foot blade. The shark's foot blade's always been one of my favorite ones. Absolutely love these. These are like a grenade filling, like a grenade pattern. Pineapple scales. I love them. I think they're cool. Gonna have to find me a shorter screw though. I'm gonna find the proper screw to go in there. Cause this one, it moves around in here a little bit because it's too long. I need to find a shorter one, or maybe I could shave some of this screw. Maybe I could trim it down a little bit. That's a possibility. That might be something I can do. I have to find another screw that can screw onto here though. That might be hard to do. Absolutely love this one though. Absolutely love it. That's the newest one, to the newest addition to the herd of goats. My goat herd. Original goat. If you want metal scales for your AD20S, AD20, or AD20.5, I recommend going to original goat. Every set of scales I've gotten from original goat fits perfectly. They're milled and machined perfectly. I say go to original goat. All right, people. I'm going to go ahead and put this one out there for y'all. But my goats are complete now. I mean my goats. My AD20S models are complete. I do not plan on buying any more AD20S models. Now, I may get an AD20. I still want to get an AD20. I haven't been able to find an AD20, you know, at a good price or whatever. You know, they've been hard to find, period, lately. Unless you want to spend like thousands of dollars on eBay or something. But I'm not doing that. AD20 should go for, I'd pay anywhere from like maybe $500 to $700 for one. I'm being honest, because I don't think I could probably find one cheaper than that. And if I could, I would. You know, I'd rather pay like $400 to $500 for that. You know what I mean? Or maybe $400 to $600 or something like that. But I'm gonna still try to get one. I'm gonna still try to get one, people. I'll just have to take my time on it. I'll just keep watching the auctions, and that's what you guys sort of do with this. You know, you got is part of the hunt is that, you know, you got to be patient. You got to take your time and, you know, just sort of flow with the punches, and wait until one comes up. All right, people. I'm gonna go ahead and kick back the rest of this evening. Hope everybody's having a great day. Peace out. Stiletto.